as the starting comes up. Okay, it is started, recording is started. Okay, so good morning and welcome to the class once again. So we are studying health, nutrition and safety. Today we are going to start with this component of nutrition and how as a living caregiver we should be taking care of our clients. In this course, we have to understand that we are not only studying children, we are also studying about adult people and about old people, right? So by nutrition is meant, like just wait, somebody is there now joining the class. Let me go there. So welcome Richards to the class. Okay, so nutrition. So first we have to understand what is nutrition. Now nutrition is a process which is related to our intake of foods and fluids. When we intake food and other liquids, then there are 4 types of processes happening in the body. What happens to the food when we eat it? Okay, done. So what is the 4 processes? These processes are ingestion. Ingestion means when we are the process of eating food. That is known as ingestion technically. So the food is going to ingestion process and fluid. So when they are entering our body. Okay, after that comes the process of digestion. Once the food is inside the body, then digestion starts taking place. Digestion means that the nutrients that are there in the food, the value of the food that we are taking, that part is broken into various parts. The food, all that is there in the food, it is broken into various parts and the nutrition is absorbed by the body cells. Okay, so we are having a watermelon or we are having, let us say, milk. So whatever is the nutritious part of that food, it gets absorbed by our body. How? Through the cells. So what is important is that not only ingestion is important, but it is also important that digestion should be good. So sometimes in spite of having good diet, in spite of having like lots of whatever stuff we think we can keep our babies healthy, our children healthy or ourselves healthy, yet we are not having good results because proper digestion might not be taking place. So the breaking down of nutrients into the food, breaking it down and being absorbed by the cells. Now this is the process of digestion. Third is we are coming to absorption. So absorb, the process by which the substances pass through the intestine walls into the blood. What is happening when the nutrients are absorbed by the body cells? Then these are also being passed on to the blood, and whatever is the waste through the process of moving through our short intestine, then long intestine, then whatever is the fiber or whatever is the waste material, it is going out of the body, it is being excreted, and while the nutrients are being absorbed. So in simple terms, nutrition is the process by which we become healthy, because whatever we eat, the best part of that the nutrients in the body are absorbed by the cells by the process of digestion and by the process of absorption. So all that is good there is absorbed by our blood, and rest is all removed by our body. So that is good enough to understand. We don't have to go into details because we are not studying biology here, just a basic understanding. So the food, so what is happening when the process of ingestion happens? It means that we ate food, and what is the last stage? The last stage is the best is going into our blood, and all the waste is going down the body. Right. Okay. What are the then the nutrients in the food? So there are several. So we are going to study the main ones. There is the proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. This is there in the food that we take. In all the foods, several, these may be in different ratio. Some things are good for this thing, something not. Somebody might not be having any mineral values, and then other things are there. So that is why it is always advised that we should be having different types of food groups, so that various nutrients the body is getting. So what about protein? We are going to understand what is the purpose of which nutrients and how what nutrient is going to help the body in what way. So first of all, proteins. Now proteins are needed for tissue growth. We know body is made up of all tissues. So proteins for tissue growth and also for body repairs. Okay, so something happens to the body. Now we are doing medication, we are doing all the things, but what about proteins? So though if we are having good amount of proteins, then the repair is, body cells are being repaired earlier. So proteins are required for tissue growth and also for body repairs, and it can be had from meat and plant sources. Then deficiency of protein in results in kind of malnutrition. Okay, so and more protein is required for children and also for older people. So if they are having less of proteins, so they might be going into severe malnutrition. So as a live-in caregiver, one of the duties of our duty is to be taking care of the food part of our clients, right? That is why this understanding is required, that the deficiency of protein in the body is going to be taking the client towards malnutrition. Second is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are providing energy to the body, and carbohydrates are also required for proper ball elimination. So the fiber is there. In carbohydrates, we are having fiber, and that fiber gets eliminated. Okay, so it is coming from plants, nuts, rice, and bread. We are talking about carbohydrates. And then simple sugar, starch, and fiber, that is also part of carbohydrates that we are receiving from there. Third, we are coming to fats. Now fats are that which provide us energy. Body receives energy from fats, and it also adds a kind of flavor. And but the fat, if not taken proportionately, it is going to be get stored into the body. And that is why that fat can be observed as well. From where to get it? Dairy products, and there is processed dairy products which increase the shelf life of these things. So we are studying because why? As a live-in caregiver, you are not only preparing the food, you might also be going for grocery. What kind of a food is required? So that is why this understanding, and on the food packets and everything is written. How much fat is there, how much calories is there, whatever, right? So that is why these details. Then vitamins. So vitamins are required for normal functioning and growth. So, and there are several vitamins, and each vitamin specifically is required for some specific body functions. So lack of vitamins is going to make a person ill, and excess storage can also cause illness. So it is not that we are going and popping vitamin pills into our mouth. So if there is excess storage, that is going to harm. If there is lack of it, that is going to be harmful also. So vitamin C and B are water soluble. Water soluble means that, you know, there are certain vitamins like vitamin A in carrots. So if like 3 months you are having a very good carrot juice for 3 months, it means that for an entire year you have stored vitamin A in your body and you are good for full 1 year just by 3 months if you are taking carrot juice, right? So how this is, because this gets stored into the body, right? So this is getting stored. So for the next 9 months, you are good for it. But there are certain vitamins which we need to have every day because they cannot be stored by the body, like vitamin C, like it is in found in green chili. It is also there in what you call lemon, I think, right? So these cannot be stored into the body. So we have to have it like every day or whatever, alternate day or every day. So this is what about vitamin C and B are water soluble. Okay, these can be stored, it means, right? And what about minerals coming next? So there are several minerals and each has a specific function. There are certain minerals we are having from animal meat and also from plants. And in minerals like calcium and phosphorus, these two are required for our bones and for our teeth. Next, we are coming to water. So water is required in the body for what? For temperature regulation of the body. So there is a normal body temperature, so that is regulated, and also for good functioning of our cells. You know, 70% of our body is water. So all those, you know, they say that the heart, the kidneys, the lungs, the liver, so it is kind of, these are kind of flowing into the water in the body. Inside the body, all there is the liquids and the water is there. So these are not like fixed or sitting like there. So these are like into the water. You see the things like moving or like that. So these are, and then also water is required for removing waste from our body. Okay, and also for delivering nutrients to the body. So what is important is that a balance between fluid intake and food is very important, because, you know, water we should be normally they say that every person, it is like they say that your body weight divided by 10, add 3 to that, and that is going to be the amount of water every person needs to be taking. So in general terms, we say that everybody should be having like 2 liters of water in the morning. You get up and drink lots of good water is good. Okay, because your cells are like starved for water at night, whatever. And it is also said that when we feel thirsty, it means the process of dehydration has already started. So that is why there are several people you will see that they are carrying a water bottle, and every half an hour, 40 minutes or once in an hour, they are always having 2 or 4 sips like that. So there are, let us say, those are more like health conscious or aware people, we can say. Okay, then there are various for energy and growth, we are requiring vitamins. So vitamin A, B1, B2, B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. So this is just for understanding, and I don't think we are going to have questions which are going to be going into lots of details. It is not, but still we need to understand. What about minerals? So if the question is like name any 4 minerals. So in minerals, I told you there is calcium, there is phosphorus. So there is iron also. So iron is required for your HB, you know, how much amount of blood is there in your body. Okay, so iron is there, then iodine is there. So iodine is usually found in either a fish. It is found mostly in salt. So the salt is iodinized salts. Those are required because very little amount is required. So everybody is having salt. So those salts are the best in which there is iodine. Otherwise, if we do not have other resources, then it is going to be causing a deficiency of iodine in body. Then there is sodium, there is potassium, and there is zinc. So these are the minerals. For potassium, like that is found in banana. So there are so many things, no more details are required. So as a professional caregiver or otherwise aware people, we should be following Canada Food Guide. So Canada Food Guide, it is talking about healthy eating. So what is understood by healthy eating? So healthy eating is, point wise I'm going to tell you. First is that we should be having a daily diet of nutrients. So all those 6 nutrients that we just talked about, so they are saying that they should be there in your daily diet in one form or the other. So healthy eating is like it promotes your health. It promotes your mental well-being. Healthy eating is required because it reduces the risk of health problems. It is required because our body needs energy every day, because every day we are consuming energy, every day we are into so much of activities. So if the nutrients, any part of it is not there, then the body is not functioning properly, or gradually it is going down towards deficiency, and then some problem is going to occur. Okay, so small amount of oil is required, and what is that most food servings should come from fruits and vegetables. This we are studying from Canada Food Guide. And high carb diet is filling. So carbohydrates, so you feel full. So when we are very hungry, what we do? We eat a lot. Okay, because the more hungry we are, so why we eat a lot when we are hungry? Because it is our mind that is telling us whether my stomach is full or not. So if I am not much hungry, so I am having like peacefully, quietly, little by little I am having, and it takes like about 20 minutes for the mind to register that the stomach is full. So you can think that within that period, within 10-12 minutes, so if you are on the go, so what you are doing, you are quickly eating lots of that. Let me eat now good, because after I'm going to eat after 8 hours, or maybe after 6, or in the evening now I'm going to eat. So let me eat a lot. So the mind doesn't get that chance to respond. So when we are dealing with our clients, then it is important that they should be eating food nicely, quietly, peacefully, whether whatever age group you are taking care of. Okay, because if we are having more than is required, that is going to be harmful. If we are having less than what is required, again, that is also going to be harmful. Further down, let us take the topic for food grades. So, sorry, food groups. These are food groups. So, according to Canada Health Guide, there are mainly 4 food groups. These food groups are, first is vegetable and fruits. Now it is not a sequence, but I'm just telling. Fruits and vegetables, then grain products, then milk products, and meat and alternatives. So those who are vegetarian, for them there are other alternatives. So vegetable, fruits, grain products, milk products, meat and alternatives. These are the 4 food groups. So they say that from all these 4 food groups, every day, these should be incorporated in the diet. So when these are there, so there we have to also search out which foods are found in which foods, which food group, what nutrients are found. So according to that, diet plans are made. So you don't have to go into the diet plan, because as a live-in caregiver, so you already have a diet plan of whosoever client you are taking care of, right? Whether if these are children, then you can also request the parents that it is better, like I would want that can we have a food diet chart for these children, if you are not confident enough that you are what food you are giving to them. But then parents are also there to guide, especially in the beginning. Okay, so these are the four food groups. Next is, what is the goal of healthy eating? Why it is so much important, and everyone stresses that healthy eating is so important. So first of all is for our better overall health. Overall health means that all those 5 dimensions of health, which we had studied on the first day. Okay, so all the spiritual, social, mental, emotional, and physical. So all these depend upon a healthy diet. Okay, otherwise we are lethargic, we are not going out, we are not playing, we are not so our social system is also being affected, then our emotional disturbance. So all various dimensions of a person's wholeness is affected if one of the aspect is not up to the mark. So better overall health, that is the goal of healthy eating. Next is that if we are healthy, then there is a lower risk of diseases and lower risk of injury, right? Suppose a fall happens, so if your bones are very brittle, then it is going to break. Otherwise, if the bones were healthy, so the breakage might not have happened. Lower risk of disease and injury. And for maintaining a healthy body weight, because if we are having more weight than is required, then again it is going to cause some kind of diseases or some kind of other problems in life. It can be also psychological problems. Then healthy eating for higher level of energy. So we need so much of energy for all the activities we are doing. For stronger muscles and bones. Then healthy eating increases the healing process. Suppose something happens to the body, any type of ailment coming or injury coming or disorder coming, okay, anything is coming, so healing process is going to be better if we are eating healthy. And it is also good for our mental health. It is so good because, you know, when we feel healthy, when we look better, we feel healthy, so our mind is so happy also, right? So this is going to happen if we are having healthy eating habits, then we are going to be very happy person. You know, sometimes what happens when you are eating something which you really do not want to eat, but then there's a kind of guilt feeling coming, okay? So that is for our own person thing. But when we are thinking of our clients, so all these goodnesses of healthy eating is coming to them because they are in your care, and the food you are providing them should be a healthy diet they are having. Okay. And a good healthy eating is going to affect not only our present, but also our future health. They say what we eat in 1 decade of life, the result and benefits of or the loss of that is seen in the next decade of life. What we are eating in 30s is going to be affecting what is your health in 40s. That is how it is. What you are eating in 40s, that is going to affect down and down and down. It is like this. Okay, so appropriate amount of foods and fluids in daily life, daily diet is required for a healthy future also. good healthy body you are having. Okay, then there are, what is healthy eating comes under, it comes under social activity. Okay, there are several activities everybody is taking. We are doing so many activities. Okay, so this activity is a social activity. Social activity means that clients usually feel good when they are eating with, when there are other people around, because it is a social activity. So eating and drinking is a social activity. So it also promotes social and emotional mental health. So we are enjoying food, there are others also, then we are talking also, then that is why it is again coming from Canada Health Guide. Let us talk about what and how important healthy diet or good health is for various age groups. Like, let us start from infancy. So for the first 6 months, so breast milk is the best, that is mother fed milk. Then comes the formula milks. So formula milks sometimes lack in antibodies. So there are so many things there. These are fortified foods, like there are vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, fats, everything is there. But formula milks lack in, there are no antibodies there, which are there in the mother's milk. Okay, so that is why it is important. And then as the child moves towards the cereal, so these should be iron fortified. So you need blood, so iron should be there. And then when a baby is like 10 months, then chopped food. So chopped food you are giving. And babies also have their own strong likes and dislikes, right? So we have to put them into the habits. If some food is good and they do not like it at all, so we should be trying to trying various ways, scheduling the baby so that the baby is having foods which is good for like 10 months old or whatever the age. Next is very important that for the first 4 years of life, fat is absolutely important for children till the age of 5 years, because this is the time with the help of fat the brain development is going on. Okay, and 2, 3, 4 years children, they are so much having energy and they are active all the time. Only when they are sleeping, so that is there, otherwise they are moving here and there and jumping and whatever all the time they are on the movement. So it is important, fat is very important till the age of 4 for brain development and energy. And also we have to follow the care plans, right? If we are having children in our care, so it is always nice to ask your supervisor to that I would want a care plan for, or I want a Canada food guide. So they are to, you can have access to that from your supervisors. Moving on to adolescence. Now this is the period of growth spurt. We already know that comes a time when suddenly children become like within 3 months, they gain so much of height. And girls have the girls gain height earlier than boys usually. Okay, so this is the period of puberty. So in puberty, like increased nutrition is required. And if children are doing what? So they are sometimes skipping meals, or they are going into lots of fast food or soft drinks. So they are developing poor eating habits. So this might lead into eating disorders. We have already studied eating disorders like anorexia nervosa. If you have this obsessive thinking that I will gain weight, so I'm not eating anything. So you are reed thin and still you are not eating anything because you think I'm going to become fat. So that is a mental disorder. That is a eating disorder mostly found in girls. Okay. And then there is bulimia, anorexia. So bulimia is what? This is binge eating. You are eating so much all the time. You are eating, and then you are inducing vomit. You are having something to eliminate the food that you ate. So with these disorders, disorders are not in your course. So I'm just telling that this can be really like devastating for adolescent or a teenager. So they are eating so much and then they are deliberately putting hands into their mouth to puke it out. How many times? As many as 30 times in a day. So this is a mental disorder. So we are not going into that, but we have to understand that if in adolescence certain food habits and the things are not checked out, it may lead to eating disorders later in life. Okay, so what we have to watch in this period, that iron deficiency should never happen. So this is a watch. Iron deficiency is very harmful in adolescence because we already know that girls go into menstruation this time, and the spermage that the boys go through, those like nocta emissions and nocturnal emissions, whatever we call those. So this adolescence is that period. So lots of iron too is required. Next, we are coming to young adulthood and middle adulthood. So you might be having clients which are in their middle adulthood. So middle adulthood is a period of 45 to 65 years. All these people in this age group are known as coming into middle adulthood, and young adulthood before like 40, we can say that is young adulthood. Okay. So now what kind of a food you are giving to your clients depends upon the gender and the activity your client is doing, and also the age, and also the size. Size means like body structure. We are talking about middle adulthood, 45 to 65. So this is there comes a time in life, so somebody is crossing like 50s as we are going into 60s. So we might be having clients who are not very active, and there are some who are so active. So this is going to decide what kind of a diet is going to be. So energy of body starts declining into the 40s gradually and into the 50s. So calories, if we are taking more calories and activity is less. Activity is less because energy is less. So if we are having more calories, then this is the time we are adding weight to our bodies. Okay, we are talking about 40s and 50s. So healthy diet is required, and all essential nutrients is very, very important in middle adulthood. And food, how much quantity you are going to have, that depends upon the gender. The requirement for women can be different from men and the level of activity. Now a word about pregnancy. As a live-in caregiver, you might be having clients. There are some families who want that somebody is on bed. A pregnant woman might be having some conditions that the doctors say that you are not going to any movement for the next like 7 months till delivery. So you are there to take care of them. Or there might be other women who have children at home also. So they want that you should be there taking care of the mother food also and children food also. So let us talk about pregnancy. So in pregnancy, what is happening, that 500 additional calories per day is required. So what is required for a normal woman, a woman when one is pregnant? So more of calories is required. And then we have to be careful that there is no smoking, alcohol or drugs going on around. Okay, we cannot do much about it, but still we are there to care. So whatever we can do, we should be doing. And then in pregnancy, it is always very important always to go by a diet plan given by the dietitian. So if it is not there, you can request that okay, so I'm going to take care of this client, so I would go by the diet plan, kindly provide me that. Then you are safe, then it is not that you prepared something, you add something. So what is required more? It is required like increase in iron, that is folic acid and calcium. These three things are very important, and folic acid is very, very important for a pregnant mother. Note it down, because if there is lack of folic acid intake, then it is going to cause brain abnormalities in the child. So folic acid is very important. The risk to spinal cord can also be there. Okay, so our backbone, what we call, so that can be damaged, or brain would be damaged. So the child that is going to be born could be coming with various abnormalities. Okay, so this is one part, and let me all look at that. When we are talking about clients, let me go into another aspect of it, and we are going to do it in one go. Next part here is nutrition requirement differs from person to person, and it also differs according to different stages. The stages I just discussed with you: infancy, childhood, adolescent, young and middle adulthood, later adulthood, pregnancy. These are the stages. But otherwise also, in everyday life also, one child's requirement might be different from other children of the same age group. Right? Certain things are important, but then, you know, conditions of the child is very important also. So if any kind of a condition is there with the child, then we can say that I'm going to feed this because this is good for the child. It is the healthy thing. Okay. Next part, we are going to study what are the factors that affect eating. What are the factors affecting eating? Eating means nutrition intake. The factors that affect nutrition intake, because ingestion is what? When we are eating food. So what are the factors that are affecting this thing? Several factors are there. First of all is personal choices. Somebody would be going more for fruits, other is more interested in dairy products, another is more interested in non-vegetarian food. These are personal choices. Next is like appetite. Some people are born with a big appetite, other are having less. It might be the same age, but then children might be requiring more to eat, and the same age group children might be needing less. So as a professional caregiver, we should understand what is the appetite requirement. We should never force the clients to eat. Okay, how much they want to have, so you are good with that. Another factor is allergies. Some clients might be having some kind of allergies. Okay, so of course, when you are going purchasing for their grocery, going for kitchen, then you have to be reading on the products. There is mentioned like if there are allergies, so you should be careful about those. So that again is going to be there in the diet plan. Time and again I'm saying that diet plan is very important for a live-in caregiver, for your professional competency. Next is food intolerance. There are some people who just cannot tolerate some foods, so those are also to be avoided. Then culture, certain cultures. So what we eat is in childhood is going to be our affecting immense influence our eating habits later in life. Because if we go by taste buds, then we are very fond of only those things which we were fed by our parents. Okay, so it means which was in there in the culture. And then there are religious under what you call restrictions also there. So this is also one factor. And another factor important is finances. Because when we are going for good food, so I think that even normal foods are very good foods. But when we are living in a society, it is so much like shackled with the consumerism. So every time you are looking at that, this is organic, so this is non-organic, so now this is going to give you this is not. So if we are having a normal healthy diet, that is okay. And it is, today, you know what the US did. Okay, they said that for the last maybe I do not know how many decades, they have been saying that certain foods are not good for health. It is going to add cholesterol to you. So dairy products or whatever. Now they say that it is very good. Now they are saying the studies has come. This is all very good. All should be consuming. So, you know, I tell you that I'm also a social activist. OK, I have a diploma, 2 years diploma in human rights. So that is how can they do that, you know, because they whenever they want to give benefit to a personal like their choice, like some business houses. So they are coming up with various researches. I don't say that they are right or wrong. I just say that things which were considered not good for eating are today being considered good for eating. So now who is going to decide that? So we are all humans and we have so many shortcomings. Okay, so finances is going to decide one of the factors, and then any kind of illness that is also going to affect. So if you are having, yesterday we studied about long-term illness and disabilities and short-term illness. So during the illness period, then certain foods are not to be given. So all that goodiness of those foods are not being received by the body. And then there is the aging process, right? So in aging, we understand. So there is problem of teeth. You might not be able to chew properly. Then your digestion might have gone slow. Okay, so many things are required here. So that is, I think, is about all here. And let me see if there are certain other things. Okay. So with that, I think we should be giving a stop here. And today, I think I should be taking one more lecture, and which is related to your same part, that is nutrition. So health we have completed all, nutrition we are on, and safety we are going to take later on. Thank you so much for being in the class and being there. And let me go back, stop the recording, and back to the class.